What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 153, and we start today's episode off with a game against Nice here in Ligue 1, and of course, as things stand, we are still top of the table with only a few games left now. It's coming towards the business end of the season, and we are still on top of the table, and as you can see, Marseille, well, they just will not let go of us, will they? It's really tight. Only goal difference is separating us right now, and that goal difference swing is 6 in our favour. With 9 games to go, I mean, I don't know which way the title is going to go, but to be honest, I know for sure, and if it's not going to go down to the final day, it will certainly be the penultimate game of the season. It's not going to be one team running away with it. You know, I think it probably will go down to the final day, because Marseille just will not go away. Like, they just will not let go of us right now and won't let us go on a streak and just accumulate lots of points in quick succession without them doing the same. So it's getting frustrating, to be honest, because usually in career mode it happens in a sense where you're going for the league title. Once you gain momentum, you begin to pull away quite quickly, but with Marseille, they just won't let go of us, and I guess that's good. It makes it more of a challenge, but regardless, it's frustrating for us to know we constantly have to be on top of our game. But still, we do take on Nice for the first game of today's episode, and the first chance fell there, but the shot went over the bar, and in the 10th minute, another good chance here for Nice. They tried to grab themselves the opening goal of the game as players on the ball, and eventually the shot is taken after a lot of passes here around the edge of the area. You can see I was trying to get the ball off them, I couldn't do so, but the shot was quite tame in the end and went behind for a goal kick pretty comfortably. So still goalless in this game, but in the 26th minute here again, Nice are on the ball. They passed the ball around very nicely, and they just kept on making me work and chase them around. I was basically chasing shadows in the first half an hour of the game, to be honest. And this player gets on the ball here, or tries to. Laporta leaves it, and Hugo Lloris, well, I have to say, there is no one more elite than him there. What on earth was my goalkeeper doing? Terrible from Lloris. He's usually so reliable, and thankfully for us, the shot goes wide with practically an open goal and only one defender on the line. So still goalless in this game, but all the chance in the first half coming to the home side, which wasn't good. So in stoppage time in the first half, we need to at least get a shot on the boards, because we were playing terribly. As we pass out from the back here, Niang goes down his right hand side using all his pace. No one's going to catch him by Niang. He's got the pace to keep on going. He ends up drilling in across, and he picks out Lacazette in the centre. Those two used to do it for West Bromwich Albion, and now they're doing it for PSG as well. Lacazette, he may have been signed by the AI manager, but you better believe that if I came in and he wasn't here, he'd definitely be on my mind. If certainly not going to be in the team, he'd certainly be one player I'd think about buying if I didn't in the end regardless. But it's still a really easy finish there. What on earth was I talking about? Still really easy finish there for Lacazette after a lovely ball inside by Niang, and he does make it 1-0. And as you can see here in the 63rd minute here, Nice are on the ball, but they give it away. It comes to Gonzalo Higuain, and his strike is brilliantly saved by the goalkeeper and then headed off the line, as it looked as though it was going to drop over the line and into the back of the net. But still, Nice 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1. And in the 71st minute here, Gonzalo Higuain finds him by Niang down his right hand side. He was the main creator for us in this game. Looked really good, and as he cuts inside here, he should have scored and made it 2-0, but it was a fantastic stop by the Nice goalkeeper, who kept it at just 1-0. But it wouldn't matter in the end, because it was how the game finished. So we do grab ourselves the 3 points there. It was a tough game, because it was one of those where, I mean, you know, the cliche is that football's a game of two halves, but it really was true in that game. You know, in the first half it was all Nice. They looked very strong. Then we grabbed ourselves a goal on the half-time mark, and then in the second half it was all us. It was all us. It really is. You know, football's a game of two halves. It may be a cliche, but it's completely true. So we grab ourselves the win. Very pleased with that. It was difficult, but we'll take it. Good to get a clean sheet as well, and that is very nice indeed. And following that, we took on Montpellier here, and this game was being played in Coupe Nationale, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing all these things wrong, aren't I? But regardless, as we do take on Montpellier here, Montpellier so far are one of only 3 teams to beat us since joining PSG. Can you name the other 2? Possibly you can. But regardless, we lost to Montpellier in the league, the only team in the league to beat us so far in the league competition. So as we took them on here in the Coupe Nationale, with us making 11 changes to our side, and looking at their team, it seemed very similar, if not identical, to the team that did beat us in Ligue 1 a few episodes ago. I felt as though this could be the game where our streak in Coupe Nationale comes to an end, and we do end up exiting the competition, because as you can look at my team, it was really weak, and I didn't even play players like David Luiz and Johan Cabaye and Zlatan up top. I actually played all the fringe players in this team because we had a game in midweek. So, a game in a couple of days. This was being played in midweek, but the next game was just a couple of days later. So I need to make sure that every single player was rested. But funnily enough, we did actually take the lead in this game, which was a real surprise for us. We worked our way forward. A great ball by Thiago Motta. It's such a shame that guy's retiring at the end of the year because he's been a really decent player. When I whenever I've played the guy, and eventually the finish was really nice as well. So we take, I wouldn't call it a shock lead here against Montpellier, because our team is still relatively decent, but compared to our usual first 11 it was quite weak. But still, what a finish that is. Absolutely fantastic by the number 28, whose name I'll probably pronounce wrong. I'm going to guess, is it Habran? Is that Habran? Romain Habran? But regardless, he makes it Montpellier 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1, and we take a first half lead in this game. And 2 minutes before the hour mark here, Rabiot on loan from us plays the ball forward towards Martin. It's headed away, but it comes back to Rabiot, and I'll tell you what, I would record him instantly if he scored that goal. What a fantastic strike it was by our central midfielder on loan at Montpellier, and it hits the top of the bar, and eventually it's played back to our goalkeeper. So still 1-0, and we are still in the lead in this game, but what a goal that would have been. And with 17 minutes before the end, Montpellier really were cranking up the pressure, and Ayew was denied by a very good save by Alphonse Areola there, denying Ayew the goal and keeping it 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain. But in the 82nd minute, Montpellier pushed bodies forward here. We had a chance to win the game and seal the tie. Bahabet going through one-on-one, what a great chance, and I didn't actually realise he was onside. That's why I took the shot early. I thought it was offside, and in the end the goalkeeper saved it, but it parried straight back to our man up top, and he put the ball into the open goal and made it 2-0. So let's just say I got very, very lucky there. I swear he was offside, but clearly not, but thankfully it didn't matter in the end. So Bahabet gets the goal there. He's actually leaving the club on a free transfer and going to another club next year, obviously. I don't know what club that is, but he doesn't seem that great anyway, to be honest. But I gave him a chance in this game and he wasn't too bad. So Montpellier 0, Paris Saint-Germain 2. We are going through to the semi-finals of Coupe Nationale, and Alphonse Areola was also desperate for a clean sheet as well, making another good save there. And I have to say, this goalkeeper, you know, he's actually I think he's 24 or 25 on the game now, so he's still pretty young in terms of a goalkeeper's age. He's 75 overall. He's actually really decent. Like, I mean, I know he's a good young goalkeeper in real life, has a lot of potential, but in the game I thought he wasn't really developing very nicely, but he seems pretty decent and he's pleased with his performance. He kept a clean sheet in this game and he did help us go through to the semi-finals. So obviously not really fussed about his competition. The league is the most important thing, then the Champions League, but it's still very nice to know that we are picking up the results in, you know, pretty much all competitions really, and we do get ourselves through to the semi-finals. So into the semi-finals of the Coupe Nationale, relatively pleased with it, but again, even in the semis we'll still be playing ourselves you know, a really weak team. So there you go. And then we have a squad report, and we can also see for the first time that we have a 90 rated player in the series. So the first time, our first 90 rated player in the series, and it is Hugo Lloris. He's 90 overall, and yeah, it's awesome. You know, it's really, really awesome to know he's grown a rating since coming here, and that's the best thing about this game. You know, I mean, like last year we were so disappointed in the fact that every single time a player got into their 30s, they'd always start to decrease in stats. This year, in the early 30s, players can still grow, and Lloris is a good example of that. So he's a 90 rated player. Coulom's a 78 now, very nice to see. So great to have our first 90 rated player in the series. It's taken a while, but Lloris being the first 90 rated player, I think he deserves it as well. He's actually been really decent since coming in, so that is quite nice. Although he did actually almost make a howler in the first game of today's episode, didn't he? But regardless, very pleased, and the squad's coming together really nicely. Seeing some great changes here, and you know, although we've only had one transfer window, we brought in some really good players. We've managed to sell on a couple of players and trade a couple of players out as well. And in the summer transfer window, I don't know how long we'll be staying here at PSG, but in the summer transfer window, I'm hoping to completely restructure the team and just make it our own completely, which we should be able to do. You know, we should be able to get given a good budget, and that should help us make all the changes we want. Still 8 games to go in the league. As you can see, we are still separated by goal difference, and that goal difference is still +6 with Marseille. 8 games to go, both 68 points. You can't count out Monaco as well in 3rd place with 63, Lyon with 60. I don't think Lyon are going to charge, but Monaco, possibly. They're not going away, are they? But I think it probably will be between Marseille and PSG to see who ends up winning the title. But regardless, it's going to be tight regardless of what happens, and it's kind of cool to know that, because I did mention it in the first game. It's kind of frustrating knowing we're not just sort of soaring away, because I want to make sure we get at least one trophy this year, and Ligue 1 is of course our only board objectives. We do want to meet that, but it's still going to make a really entertaining finish regardless, and it's going to be neck and neck all the way, I feel. And following that, we did offer some contracts to some players as well. I just thought that a couple of these players have their contracts up at the end of next season, and if I give them new deals, we won't be worrying about whether they might be leaving in January next season. So just to get out of the way early, you know, I know I've got to pay signing on fees and everything, but PSG, that's not too much of a worry. And to end the episode off, we have a press conference and a look at West Bromwich Albion's squad, because in the next episode we are going to return to the Hawthorns to take on our former club, West Bromwich Albion, in the Champions League quarter-final first leg. That's going to be a live highlights game, so look forward to that. It's going to be in the next episode, and I cannot wait to take on our former club and see how we do. So, as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, as it is much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.